Yeah, well, I mean, I just want to ask you about your like experience growing up in Vietnam and the refugee experience and coming here again because I feel like we talked about it a few times, but um sometimes it's missing details or just things I forget, you know? So
Hmm. Okay.
it'll be good just to, I think, kind of have because I think it's interesting. Yeah. So I guess what you could maybe if you want to just talk about what your experience was uh first kind of growing up in Vietnam as a kid and then kind of how the end of the Vietnam War played itself out and how what led you to escape.
Okay. Well, starting out, you know, this is early on, a story or recall from, your grandma
Hmm.
is the first, I was maybe a few weeks old. The They call the Tet offensive,
Hmm.
which is very very heavy fighting in Saigon. Viet Cong tried to take over Saigon in the Tet of 1968. I was born in December 27, 1967. So
Hmm.
I was maybe a few weeks old when the event happened, and grandma basically wrapped me in blanket. Still, my belly button was still not even healed yet. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so she's like, running around, trying to avoid fighting conflict while bullets was flying and bomb was exploding. Really, really scary time.
So it
Uh,
was just you
no,
and
the
your
whole
mom.
family, the whole
Oh, okay.
family. Yeah, the whole family. Uh, so, grandma always going back to that and joking about uh, how I survived, that conflict without any harm.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, so I'm a really tough person, So that's what she's always referring
Uh-huh.
to. So growing up in Vietnam, same as any poor country, but we are fortunate. My dad, your grandpa, he's working for the Vietnamese consulate. Doing some spying, analytical. He's basically an analytical and advisor for the American and the South Vietnamese army. So he's, we are very fortunate, well off. So we got, a lot of good stuff. We have, going to a good school and not poor. So
Yeah.
we are above average. So
Did,
due to my dad occupation, so he bring in good money.
did you guys grow up like
Hold
in the
on,
city?
let me plug in because it's showing I'm out of battery. Real quick.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. So, what is your question?
Yeah, so did you guys like live in the city
Yes,
or uh-huh.
yes. My mom and dad, we live in Saigon. They call Province 8, Quận 8. So it's more like a outskirt of Saigon. but
Mhm.
it's still Saigon. All my life. My mom and dad lived there since 1945.
Mhm.
Yeah, when the French pull out, all the North Vietnamese either stay in the north or pass the parallel 17, where they call the ceasefire zone, and they
Yeah.
allow the people to cross that back in 1954 or 45. I forgot which year. So my mom and dad just moved to Saigon and lived there ever since.
Mhm.
So growing up, back to growing up, go to school, as usual. We have seven brother and sister. And hold on, Philip, we have
Okay.
visitor. We have unwanted visitor.
Hello.
What's up, Alina?
Same as all boys and girls at my age. Just go to church, go to school, play out in the field, rice field, swimming in the river. Very very clean back then.
Yeah.
So,
Did did you say once that you had to also like start cooking for the family very early too,
that's
or
later on.
okay.
That's this is pre 75. So by 1975, I was it's like 9 years old,
Mhm.
right? 67,
Like
7 years old, 7 years old. So uh, when the fall of Saigon, was 7 years old, and the family have to run again. So that's the second fighting that the whole family have to run, and that even more scarier than the first. The first attack was at night, and the fall of Saigon was ongoing, dead body, dead soldier coming home
mhm.
every day. I mean, a truck and truckload of
Mhm.
mutilated body. They just not bury it fast enough. It's just uh, lots of uh, dead body on the street, fighting everywhere. So, the prior to April 30th, it's like April 27. The family just pack up stuff, just small bag, everybody, small bag, and we try to run to the airport. Tân Sơn Nhất, there's only one airport. Try to run to the airport because my dad, he's a secret personnel, intelligence personnel. He can basically get us out of Saigon, onto one of the airplane and get us out. Uh, during
Mhm.
during the uh, um, during that time, my oldest brother, Bakung, he's he's got lost. He ran off with his cousin and got lost in Saigon because of the chaos. So, and we hunkered down at one of the church and waiting for my dad, friends, and soldier to try to find them. So we hunkered down in that church for 3 days. and we couldn't locate him. So we missed the flight. We missed so we missed everything. We missed the flight out. We missed the helicopter that was a lot of people seeing on the news. So we missed all of that because we was in that church and it was locked down, because outside any sign of movement you will get shot. People just I don't know what side, which side they're shooting at people, but anybody out on the street will get shot. So we hunker down in that church, and we just hopefully it will be over. But on the 30th day of April, we saw the first tank that rolled into Saigon. First tank with the North Vietnamese army flag flying on top of it, and we just figure it's over. So they cross, and then this I remember vividly, some guy in a bicycle tried to stop the tank and stand in front of the tank, just like a tin man. Yeah, and he got ran over. He just whooshed right over top. Just very, very, very gruesome. Yeah. So that's it. That's the end of Saigon. That's the end of Saigon, and so childhood. There's good time. There's a really peaceful time when the American was still supporting the war. The fighting is mostly outside of Saigon, so far away. So we are not really worried about it. Once in a while you see, the soldier die and bring back, but by 1975 is just dead body all over the place. Military personnel, civilian, dog, cat, pig, just chaos. Building tumble, building got bullet hole, half blown off. Just really, it's like a surreal movie that you actually in it. So that's 1975. That's war.
So
but,
before the fall of Saigon, did you have any kind of sense of what was going on? Like, did you feel like you were in danger, or it was kind of because it was a bit far away from the city, like all the fighting and stuff?
Being a my dad, he's a intelligent officer or advisor, so he know what's coming. He know all these fighting and everything else, and the one thing in Vietnam is parents don't normally talk important stuff to children.
Life and death situations.
Just like, just go to school, just go to church, just be as usual as you can be. So I don't know much. I mean, I once in a while, you hear a blast. Like they Viet Cong, they infiltrated and set up a bomb at a certain hotel or this and that, but nothing very close to home. Even though we basically live right in the path of the movement, the Viet Cong movement moved from South Vietnam into the city, they have to cross through our area, Quan Tam. So it's very, very dangerous area. But before between 67 all the way up to 75, very peaceful, very, very nice. You can go out in the field with your friend playing, and really, really fun, happy time. Yeah.
So you said you just had like a normal, I guess, childhood then.
Very much,
relatively,
yes. Normal,
yeah.
Or better than normal, because we are very well protected. The community, basically in Vietnam is kind of like the people that follow the cardinal, because we are Catholic, so the cardinal from that one province in the north, when they move, everybody that in that whole in that church, basically follow him. So my parents being Catholic, they follow that same priest, same cardinal. So everybody know each other. So we live in that one strip of street, and there's four church, and they all basically from 3 church or 4 church from the north Vietnam, and they just pick up that whole community, right? And then just follow that cardinal into Saigon and establish there. So very, very safe, very secure, because that cardinal, he's a very anti-communist. It's like he's a dead core, hardcore anti-communist. So he have military, he have a power, military, and so he have a lot of military posts, surrounding that area. So very, very, very safe. I mean, we never hear any kidnapping or killing or anything like that, because it's he have my dad as one of the intelligence officer that helping him, and they gather information, and so they actually helping the community to be safe, and very, very prosperous during that time. Yeah.
So your dad was connected to the cardinal, and that guy was connected to like more powerful people, pretty much.
Yeah. Yes, because the first president of Vietnam, Ngo Dinh Diem, he's actually the superior to the president. So they all Catholic, in that group. So very, very well connected, very well. I mean, it's now we call it bias. It's dominating. But that's religion. But he's that cardinal is well connected. Yes.
So then, when you were growing up, then if it felt kind of normal, did you have kind of like, I don't know, dreams for yourself or something that you wanted to kind of like aspire to?
Yeah. I always like to do anything with architecture or drawing, designing, or some in some sort, some kind of mechanical, building, furniture, anything to do with architectural, so that's my dream to become is either a civil engineer, architectural, or some kind of mechanical. So in yeah.
So as a kid, did you like draw a lot and like play with around with a lot of kind of like
Built
sort of
mostly
things?
mostly we in Vietnam, we don't have access to uh paper. I mean, there's this paper, but mostly used for school, so you don't do a lot of drawing. But I built like a bridge, just uh, uh, out of mostly just bamboo or some material that laying around, and we play around with that. We have a lot of mud and clay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just building some of that, and handyman, because my grandpa, he's a very very good carpenter. He make furniture, and I go over there and helping out and playing around with it, and playing around with saws and wood, and all kinds of stuff. And he gave me a nickname, crowbar, sabang. Yeah. So because
You're the tool that
I am one of the tools.
yeah.
And we make money, everything done by hand. There's we don't have a lot of electric power tool, so everything done by hand. And he would hire me to hit the nail, to indent it so they can fill it in and make it, to hide the nail head. And he will pay me, and I'm doing a really good job. And he's gave me that nickname. So,
I like that.
yeah. Yeah,
So then you said you live with, so you had 6 siblings or 7, including yourself?
a seven.
7 siblings
Yeah,
with
Bắc
you.
Cường. Bắc Cường is the oldest. He's the oldest brother I have, that he live in Norway. So the next one is Bắc Giang, the one in Michigan. And then the third one is Bắc Kim. She's the one that's still in Vietnam. And then Bắc Hạnh, she's in Norway. And then me, and then Cô Vân, my little sister, and then Uncle Bit. He's in Norway. So I have 4 in Norway, 2 in the United States, and 1 in Vietnam.
So and then it was your parents too, in the same house. What did your mom do? Did she mostly like kind of raise you and all your?
Yes, she's mostly just like a housewife. She's not not educated, because probably 80% of Vietnamese back then is illiterate, uneducated, just because there's just war going on. Maybe they have like maybe 4th grade or 5th grade or 6th grade, probably the most. Whoever finished high school is very very rare, and that's considered well educated. Even just a high school diploma is very well educated, back then. Yeah.
So then how did your father get, I guess, his position? Was he like more than high school, or how did he?
I think he is like high school educated, but he's a very very smart guy, and he learned French, so he can speak French. He can write in French, and then later on he can speak English, and he can write in English. So I don't know. It's either from the military that where he learned his language. He never like talk about his training or anything like that, because it's kind
Top
of
secret.
no, it's like um they try to not to tell the children too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
but he's very very well respected guy, and very educated guy. uh, he lost one of his arm, the left arm, during one of the fighting in North. So I don't know when, but his left arm is cut off. But
Mm.
I mean, when after he moved to Saigon, he built a house, draw it out, built a house, built our house. He can typewriter faster than any two-hand people that I know. So really, 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 really crazy. Just really, really crazy. Yep, on a typewriter. Uh, speak a couple of language that I know of. Um, he really, really good artist. He's a lot of art project from school. I got straight A because he's helping me with it. So very, very a talent guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, modify his own moped. So he go to work, on a moped, and then park it somewhere outside the neighborhood, and then one of his assistant or military aid guy and pick him up in a jeep, and go into the his headquarter or whatever. So he tried to be as low key as he
Mm-hmm.
can be, in the neighborhood. So very very a respectable guy.
Was he very young when he had you and your siblings?
I'm not sure. I think he's older. He born in 1928, but my
Oh,
oldest brother born in 1960. So he's quite old.
oh wow.
Yeah,
So okay.
yeah, he's quite old for Vietnamese standard. Vietnamese standard maybe like 16 to 18 already have a family. So
Hmm.
he's way out there. Yeah.
Hmm. Did you like feel close to him when you were growing up?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because uh, my brother, he's always away, from home. Going study somewhere else. He's because my parents want him to become a priest. That's like an honor, very very honor for a family to have a priest in a family, and grandpa and grandma and my mom and dad want him to become a priest. So he's always, at a seminary somewhere to study. So
You're is this the one in Norway or?
yep, the oldest one. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
he's always away from home, and being, like, I guess the the son in the family, the head of son in the family. So
Yeah.
I'm close with him, and whatever they need at home as being a boy man, and I have to take care of it. From dumping trash, from uh, uh, gathering, cooking food for the pig, chicken, carrying heavy stuff. Yes, that's me.
Hmm.
So I'm close to him, and you know, mm,
Yeah. So then, uh, you you said you had animals too. Like, did you guys kind of was it
We
common for
all
people to yeah have like kind of some animals in a farm or something?
we raise animal not only for for food, but also for profit. Um, at one point we have chicken. We have mostly pig. You know, I have like one mama pig with a lot of baby pig, and I go out in the field, uh, gathering vegetation and cook it for the pig and feed it and shower it, and the pig actually live inside our home. We have like a little section area. Well, it's pretty big section, but we have
Uh-huh.
a section area that fence off, and the pig live inside the house. Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah. So
So did you like sell the baby pigs or like
yeah,
uh
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the first batch that actually that pig. It's a sad story. Uh, that pig I raised it from buying. We bought one baby female pig, right? So I raised it up until she's mature, and then they will bring the male pig over and germinate her,
mhm,
and yeah, and then I bathe and just take care of that pig until she giving birth, and got 12 piglet. So
hmm,
12 piglet, which is every single one of them healthy, and people just pre-order it. So really, really exciting for the family, and on the second, that's the first batch, and on the second batch, that's when uh, uh, the time for me to escape from Vietnam. So I left. I think it was April. I think it's like the middle of April, 1981. So the mama pig was pregnant. So for a few days she just stopped eating. She stopped eating. She stopped eating, and then finally she got so sick that she have to put down.
mhm,
So in Vietnam, there's nothing go waste. So they sell the mama pig to a slaughterhouse.
hmm,
Because she's so you have to get the money before she's basically die, and that's it's worthless. But
hmm,
yeah, the slaughterhouse uh, you know kill her, so slaughter her, and there's 10 baby in her stomach. So
yeah,
I heard that story. I was crying. So
yeah,
that pig that pig really mean a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean
Were you,
she soon as I mean that's the story from all your aunt and uncle is when after I left, the pig was so sad that she just stopped eating. So
hmm.
yeah, so
So
that's
yeah, so you were like the primary person taking care of it and raising it and
oh
everything.
yeah, yeah. She's really really friendly. Friendly. It's just very smart pig. Yeah. So
Hmm. Yeah.
we have animal, and then we have maybe 50 chicken at one time
Wow.
in the house. Yeah,
50?
inside a cage. We raise it for egg, and then for special occasion we'll kill the chicken for food, and then
Wow.
we have duck. We have duck inside the house. So at one point I think we have maybe 20 duck. Yeah. So,
That's so many. Lots
well,
of birds a day.
because you have to kind of make a profit, make a living. So raising animal and
Yeah.
selling it at when it get big is one of the the primary the source of income also. Yeah.
So that was like was that your like primary like responsibility? Because then your dad, he was, doing the intelligence stuff, but did you need
Uh,
the extra
the
money too?
the animal is actually after 1975, but
Oh,
before
okay.
that we have pig but I typically I still have to go gather vegetation for them. So yeah, that's more like yeah, my small responsibility. Yes. Yeah.
Mhm. So then, okay, so then once April 30th comes by, uh, is that, I can't remember, is that when like your dad starts planning to get people out, or is it only after
Um,
like he realizes the situation's pretty bad and then it's like he has to start then planning?
no, no. I mean, um, he already have some plan before that, but I mean, it's war, so it's not like 100% for sure that it's going to execute that way. So when you're talking about people, you mean like the family, or you mean outside people?
Yeah, just like your family.
Yeah, yeah. He's well connected, so he's basically if he show up at the airport, they definitely gonna let us in. He's I'm pretty sure that he's uh, at one point. I remember, he's saying that he's also have social security card, which is very very rare for a foreign agent. But since he's a uh, basically like an insider, so if he stay back, they for sure gonna kill him. For sure gonna put him in jail and stuff like that. So um, they have contingency plan to
Mhm.
get the family of people that work uh, for the U.S. government or for the church, the people that supporting the cardinal out before the Viet Cong get in. So uh, for for him, because he cannot leave my older brother, there. So he basically just wait for him, and then after the fall of Saigon, not much you can do. So now is just have to go back home and wait for the next plan or doing something else.
Mhm.
So
So kind of,
after
yeah.
yeah after 75, the Viet Cong start to gathering up all the officers, all the military personnel basically, and put them into they call it educated education camp,
Like
but it's
re-education camps.
yeah re-education camp. Yeah. So there's people that uh, many people die in those camp. Uh, Many people that basically um, what you call that turn against each other, so they can get point. They can get point for uh, leniency. So they start to you know, just gathering information, and there's no court, there's no justice. They just okay, this is what your rank, you're gonna deserve 5 years. They say they're gonna take between 7 to 10 days. You know, I think the shortest term that they give to people is like a year. You know, yeah. So my dad, because that office, they burned everything, so there's no record of him, and the only record is from word of mouth, from somebody in the community say that he is supporting the cardinal, and he got 10 day. He got 10 day in re-education camp, and they call him up back and forth many times after that. You know, but he's got lucky. He's got lucky. Yeah.
Like they're trying to get information out of him, or
just like what is your role, basically. That's what they want to find out. You know, are you just an infantry? Are you, you know, the high ranking, the high involvement you are? You know, they're gonna execute you, just like his officer, which is that the cardinal. They arrested him and never seen him again after that. Nobody know what happened to him. He's just disappeared on earth. Yeah. So very gruesome, you know. And there's many story that my dad told us, you know, from the north, when they took over the north. You know, they basically, whoever Catholic, they execute them and do many torture. Yeah. So
is that because if you were Catholic, they just automatically thought you were kind of against communism and all of that? Or
well, yes, that's probably 80% truth. You know, when Catholic teaching came into Vietnam, is from Westerner, you know, from the West, from Spain, or from Portugal. You know, one of those priests that came over, Christian, basically back then is Christian. So the Catholic belief is already against what you call it, the evolution, right? There is no evolution. It's basically just God so create mankind. So the two is already conflict. So Asian majority believe in I think in Vietnam we believe we originate from a dragon and a angel somewhere, some kind of angel. So, you know, so the two religion is already collide,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
So you know, it bear root somewhere, but you know, I mean, the two believe in, you know, it's like one will kill the other just because, you know, believe. So
yeah. Okay, so then what was it like to then, I guess, to live in that time after that? Was it completely different from your childhood, pretty much?
Yes, basically everything after the war. I don't know when the school start again, but I would say probably 6 months afterward we have to join basically the youth communist it's kind of like Boy Scout, basically, but all the teaching is about, communism, about Ho Chi Minh, is about, Karl Marx, about Lenin, about Mao, great leader of the Communist Party. So that's all they teach about, or that's all they burn everything, every books, every literature outside of communism. So basically, just wipe out, uh, anything that related to Westerner. They basically burn them up, just burn everything, burn. They go into people's house, searching for radio. Hold on.
Okay.
So I'm back. So they basically try to clean out every nook and cranny related to other people influence. So even church, they limit the church, they limit all. They just spreading atheism. So no God, no believe, only in your leader, in your communist theory. Yeah. So very tough, very tough. All the anything have anything to do with communication that you can listen to radio. Back then, like the only thing that you can listen to outside a world is through a four band shortwave radio, right? So you can have AM FM, which is local band, and then you have the shortwave and you have the long wave, which is you can listen to station from Thailand, from outside. They take all of that and burn it and crush it and destroy it. So my dad, he have a little tiny little radio, so he have to hide it, really secretly hide it, and at night he put on his little headphone and extend the antenna, and at certain time he can catch VOA, Voice of America, and listen to some of the news outside of communism preaching. So very tough time. So a lot of people got little radio and either get caught and put in jail, or sometime execute and beat up, and so very crazy ruling, by the communists that came in.
So then your dad, though, you said he had basically continued to listen, though, even though it was risky.
Well, he know that the only way to hear some kind of truth, beside their propaganda, is to listen outside of the country. Some radio band outside of the country. So he's just have to do it in secrecy. Even me, I don't know about it until he told me, it's like, no matter what, just disclaim anything that you see it, you hear it, or anything that related to that radio. So
Mm-hmm. So
because
then,
he's afraid that if we say anything about it, to even your friend or your relative, and then I mean, the slip of tongue, and
yeah,
could end up somebody who dying. So very, very uh, uh, crazy time.
yeah. So it's hard to just trust anybody except your
Exactly.
like close family, I guess.
Not even,
And
not
even
even
that,
because
yeah.
you go to school, they actually telling kids, it's like, hey, if you telling uh, on your dad, you will get credit for your action, because your dad is bad, influenced by the South Vietnamese, or by uh, uh, Mỹ Trắng, which is by American, or by book, and it's like all of that is not true. So if you telling on them, you will be more uh, credit toward the Communist Party. So people turn against their parents,
Mm-hmm.
because their parents maybe in the military at one point, or hiding money, or doing it's like they asking how that people end up with a car, how they end up with a motorcycle. They have to, you know um, they already took it away, but they still want to know why. It's like if you a small business, if you don't doing dirty deal, how did you end up with money to buy a motorcycle? That kind of stuff. So very,
Mm-hmm.
they turn people against people, family against family,
Mm-hmm.
members. Yeah, very, very uh, uh, brain tactic that they play. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't talk about his job. We don't talk about like how we are related, or very, very closely friend with the cardinal and with the priest, and that kind of stuff. So we just distant, because we don't want uh, people to know that you're associate with uh, anybody from the previous uh, regime. So
Yeah. Um, and then, yeah, you kind of mentioned before that they were also basically raiding people's homes and stuff like that too. So,
yes, that's on a daily basis. They just randomly, like, I think we got searched many, many times. Um, my house, there is a couple of China the cabinet, which is built by my grandpa,
mm-hmm.
uh, and you know inside the glass door we have a couple of like cognac bottle. It's
Mm-hmm.
empty, and then they asking, it's like, how did you end up with that? You must be rich, you must be associated with the French, with the American, in order to buy that. And you know basically we have to tell them, hey, this is for store water, for store fish sauce. And basically the bottle is empty, but it's like, why do you still like keeping it? Because you are lingering with the previous regime. It's like you still feel that you are connected. So
Yeah.
basically we have to throw it all away, cut the cabinet in half, so
Mm.
it looked like we are not wealthy just because of a cabinet. That's how stupid and how judgmental they are. So
Yeah. They're just looking for every reason to kind of
yep.
make you look like you're on the other side, or to test your kind of like faith or something to
Mhm.
the communism.
Yep, yep. Basically, yes, you have to, like entrust your life to Ho Chi Minh, to the Communist Party. So they came, asking, where's my brother, where is he now, why is he not at home, uh, all kinds of questions. And we just have to make up some story. You have to, just just uh just a bad time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So then, how did your dad continued to listen to the radio, and was he just looking for kind of like a sign for some sort of escape? Did he know that like one was coming, or just kind of listening generally, and then one day maybe he heard something that uh could kind of save the family?
I'm not sure. I mean, we are not allowed to listen to it, so we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But most likely just news. Just news that he need to listen to. Uh, is the American gonna come back? Is
Mm-hmm.
the war actually over? And
Mm-hmm.
anybody coming back to save the country? Or communist is here and gonna be here, to stay. Uh, any uh, rescue, refugee, so he doesn't know. I mean, nobody know that if you escape from Vietnam through boat, is there somebody going to pick you up? I mean, there's a vast ocean. Is there any other country that taking in refugee?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, um, what route is safe? I mean, there's people that escape through Thailand or Cambodia, and they got either mugged, raped, killed. Uh, you know, um, Cambodia back then is ruled by Khmer Rouge. Very very notorious guy, and they kill many people if you get caught. And then Thailand, they don't want to take in refugee. They don't want to be responsible for the refugee. There's a flood of refugee, but I mean, there's no nobody telling the people. It's like, hey, there's refugee camp set up, so they can head it that way. So it's just information that a lot of people that need to know before they escape. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what he listened for.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a hope that American still waiting outside, the ocean, waiting, for people to escape. I think during that time, I don't think American was uh, set up, to deal with the refugee, the boat people, because they just lost a war, so they just pull out and dump all the helicopter and everything else in the ocean and run.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. It's like, no, I'm not waiting for refugee to show up. So I mean, nobody know what's going on. For the first maybe year or year and a half, it was
Mm-hmm.
just in fear. We live in fear. We don't go to school. We don't go to church. Uh, just basically stay at home. They took away all the rice. The Viet Cong, the communists took away all the rice. No rice. Uh, no meat. Anything we have to kind of go by um, uh, the little, they call it they call it like a family book, right? It's a little like a passport. One family have a passport inside that listing all the people live in that house, and they will give you either really really bad bread and bad fish, and they just basically handing you daily food. So you go to uh, uh, the distribution center, and then they pass out food, and then that's where you
Yeah.
get your food. Yeah.
Hmm. So it's like you had to go to a line and
Yep. Yep.
just
You've
like,
seen
yeah,
that in Russia, right?
yeah.
There's a line, and then you got a little canister, and then they pass out. Yep, me. I'm the one that doing it all year long. Get in line, maybe like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Get in line with a bag, and then they look at the book. Okay, you have family of 6. They give you few hundred gram of uh, rice if they have rice. If they have potato, they give you white potato, sweet potato. That
Hmm.
if they have fish on that day, they give you some fish. According to that book. So
Yeah.
every day, you go up there and basically hand it over the book. They look at, and then is your brother at home? Is your sister at home? Is your mom at home? Are they doing anything? Are they, basically all my brother and sister, anybody that is 14 years old, older, have to be out in the field working, out in the field, uh, either planting or cut, just basically labor,
Hmm.
labor for them. So
Hmm.
so I'm 9 years old, so I stay home with my younger brother and sister, and you know go line up to get food, bring home, and figure out what can we do with it. uh, Salvage, a lot, majority of it rotten and unedible, but
Hmm.
so we just have to do with what we receive. So and
Yeah.
then mhm. So quite tough time.
Yeah. So it's basically just surviving in that time until pretty much you escape.
Well, it's the government slowly reestablish, the government, and then yeah, also you have the black market where you can
Mm.
get, I mean, it's an open. It's not quite a enclosed city, so it's all open. So there's people growing stuff. There's people um, uh, that buying stuff from distant, smuggle. They
Yeah.
smuggle in rice from Thailand, because all the field they turn it into growing uh, uh, either weed or rubber, or stuff that high value to the government, but not food. So
Mm.
all the rice field turn
Hmm.
into some other type of commodity. So people start going starving, because there's no rice, there's no potato, there's everything is hand out from the government. It's all rotten, it's all inedible. So, but then
Hmm.
there's a black market, and then if you have money, which if you have gold, basically gold, money is it's worthless. So if you have gold, you can trade, or if you have different thing, you can trade. There's people that are growing green, you can buy green or trade green, rice and stuff like that. So I mean, my family, she is uh my dad, he's well prepared. So he's got hidden stuff. He got hidden gold, and he can borrow from other people if he need to. But he have we have hidden gold, and we trade. We buy small amount, because we don't want to get caught with you know maybe like a kilo of rice. You probably end up in jail. That's how strictly controlled, because it's like, hey, we are not passing out rice. Why are you having rice in your house? So basically, they force you to rely on them every day for food, even food. So but the black market is very, very very flourishing in that area, because we have a lot of river and stream that people coming up from different area to trade. And sometimes they just trade disappear. So very, very um, uh, elusive.
Yeah, risky business.
Risky, but either they do that, or they get taken away, all that stuff. So they basically on the move, on the river. So you have to kind of know the people, and also you have to uh, uh, they know you. So my dad, he's have connection, and so we always have some food. Yeah.
And then fast forward a little to, I guess, when you had to, I guess, leave, how did that happen or play out?
Basically, I know nothing about the planning. You're freaking 10 years old or 13 years old. So
so
my
then
parents, they plan all of that. So basically, on that day, we walking to church, early in the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning. So we walk into church, and then I believe it was my mom, just kind of, okay, let's go this way. So we, on the street, there's a lot of people walking to church. Every morning there's like hundreds
you
of
said
them.
at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Wow.
The churches normally they have like 3-4 session per day, mass per day, right? So this is the earliest one. So 4 o'clock, my mom is like, okay, let's walk this way real quick, and let's meet somebody. And she walked me into this dark alley, and hand me over to somebody, and just say, hey, just follow. I mean, there's a lot of people escape that we know of already. My brother, he escaped early 1979. So we know that there is a lot of escape activity, but it's very, very secretly. So my mom just hand me over to a stranger and say, hey, just follow this uncle, and when you feel safe, right home. That's it. Just hand me over to.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So then you just went with this person, and then
Well, I know, this is an escape attempt, but that's it. You just knew and follow 'em in silence, nothing. You have, it's like whatever you wear that day, that's it. No
yeah,
money, nothing. Uh, you can't even bring anything because you will attract somebody. Normally, you go to church, right? You go to church, you just wear uh, your church clothing. You don't
yeah,
have money or a bag or anything like that. So very very secretly, and just hand me over to somebody and walk away, and she go back and go to church just like normal. I don't know. I don't know how she feel. I don't know how. I mean, I don't remember how I felt back then because it hasn't hit you yet, and you just like okay, in your mind, it's like okay, I'm just following order. I'm just see what happened. But
hmm
escaping, we know that we are escaping, but we cannot say anything. We can't even talk to the guy. Just walk with him. That's it. And
hmm
he took me to uh, down to this to his boat, and I have to get into like one of the uh, hiding where they catch a fish and they put in there like a well inside a boat, and then they
hmm
dump net on you, to hide you.
What did they
You know,
put on you?
net, those net,
Oh, hmm
yeah, fish net.
yeah.
Just dump them over so people cannot see you. So and then they roll away, and it's just like okay, where we don't know where they are going. Nothing.
hmm
Just keep silence inside that tiny compartment for many hours.
hmm
Until they arrive at this one person house, right? So uh, I kind of know later on that they went zigzag uh, through many river and stream and so I end up maybe about I would say about 100 kilometer from Saigon.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So end up in this person house, and then they put you in a little kitchen, not a kitchen, a kitchen uh, shack, right? And then there's a couple of other people, waiting just like me, and just
Mm.
like just sat in there, do not do anything or make a sound or anything, just sit there until they come back. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, how long did you stay at that little person's house for?
Um, I think it was like 2 day, 2 day.
Just in that little shack with
Yep.
the
You
other.
just sit there, and then they give you like a handful of rice, just to eat and there's water, just yeah, that's it. Just stay there, quiet, uh, sit, sleep, whatever, but don't make a
Mm.
sound. Don't go outside, basically.
Yeah.
And then second day, a larger, same person, but a larger. He's in a larger boat that will fit, maybe 10 people. But we have like about I think four or five people. So we got into the little compartment, and then they put hay, like rice hay on top of us.
hmm
And we go again, go to another station, right? Another station, and from there we wait until night, and that's when they call taxi. Taxi come, not a car taxi, but a boat taxi. You
Hmm.
know, come and get the rest. They basically, one person, 4 person, 10 person, and 20 person, and then we end up in a fishing boat, which is it's not very big. It's I would say maybe 25 feet with 100 people on there.
So that was like the last one
Yep,
to.
yep. That's the last one, and it parked uh, outside of the channel. They park way out there. There's many uh, fishing boat out there, right? So they all park out there waiting for the next morning. They go out in the ocean for fishing. So they have to know which one to get the people there. So only the taxi driver know which one is to go to. So they took us there, and they put us into the compartment, and close the compartment, and then the next morning head out just like everybody else. So we 100 people, 90 98 people on that boat, and two crew. They have four crew, but two of them down there, and two on top, and two in the engine compartment basically. So four crew. So
Mhm.
heading out just like everybody else, and they just keep on going. Other people kind of go out and split and do fishing and stuff like that, and this guy just keep on going. So
Yeah. So was this like, it sounds like there was like some kind of organized attempt to like get people from one point to the next station and then finally to the boat.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
this like a group that was trying to do this, or just kind of
No, mostly
more? Yeah.
mostly is the captain of that ship or the owner of that ship, right? He's want to escape also, so he's using his ship as collateral and basically attracting people that is well known or very
Hmm.
that willing to pay. I think I end up paying like 3 gram of gold, three
Mm.
gram of gold for one person to escape. So until the day that he decide that he finished planning and getting oil, getting gasoline, and basically you cannot buy a ton of gasoline and without
Hmm.
attracting attention. So slowly he built up until the day that he decide. Basically, my mom have to, okay, here's a deposit, 1 gram of gold. Uh, you know, so put my name on the list or how many people, and then he will let 2 days in advance or 3 days in advance. Somebody will, be at that um, alley waiting for
Yeah.
you. So just go
Hmm.
over there during church time. Somebody will take you basically, just stage by stage. So if you got arrested by by the police, uh, you know, at whatever stage, okay, so that consider a wash. So you lost that first portion of money, and you got arrested, you go to jail, whatever, you bail yourself out, because you cannot jeopardize the rest of the planning. So it's a risky, but I mean, as escape is risky. Your life is on the line. So
Hmm. Yeah. So it was just you that left that day, or were
actually,
you with?
no. I'm the first attempt, that was just me. The second attempt, me actually the first attempt, me and my uncle, and that was a bust. We got to like second stage, and
Yeah.
then they we just got abandoned. They basically never show up to pick us up, and then later on we find out that the plan got broken up, and so you know
Mm.
go find another plan, another escape.
Wait. So did
So
you just go back home after that?
if you
Uh,
don't get arrested, then you just kind of sneak your way, finding yourself a way home. Yes, you know. So typically, in Vietnam, there's a lot of people making living driving little moped from here to there. So you just basically pay them, and then it's like, hey, can you take me to the bus stop? Typically, you don't take bus stop because the bus stop there's a lot of police. So it's like, hey, can you take, a small road, take me back to this town, and then from there you try to catch another guy, and then finally you get home or something like that. Yeah.
hmm.
So yeah, the first escape was with my uncle. So we lost money on that one, and then the second one with Bắc Hiền uh, dad. He's a fisherman, so he hooked the family up, right? So uh, him uh, being one of the taxi driver, so he basically the first leg of the taxi. So Bắc Hiền, Bắc Trang, me, and Bắc Hoàng. So four people from my group was in that boat, and we escaped on that one.
Hmm. Wow. I didn't. Yeah, I think the first time you only mentioned one attempt.
Yeah, the first attempt was kind of really quick because we didn't even get to the second second stage. So it's like, okay, the first stage they took us to this one house, and then we waited for I think like 2 days, and then nobody show up. I mean, the house is just deserted, empty.
Hmm.
I mean, actually not a house but a hut. So me and my uncle just there, and we got mosquito bite, we got bugs bite, we got all kinds of. So we just like I think we got abandoned. So
Yeah.
we just find our way back home. That's it, and done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, but the next time you were with back here, and then
Yeah.
you guys, that was when you got sent off into the ocean.
Yep. It's like a day and a half out, right? A day and a half out. We not even past the Vietnam border, ocean border yet. We haven't passed that, and we got pirate. We got Vietnamese pirate. So they stop us and rob us, but they didn't kill anybody. They just rob us.
But
All the belonging. Basically they looking for gold. They are fishermen. They just out of desperation or whatever they
yeah.
rob us. So they have guns. They have guns and stuff like that. So basically, they just took people bag and stuff like that, and watch and ring and whatever that valuable they took, and like, okay, you guys can go. So and then we start settling again, for the next 6 day on the ocean. We try to reach Singapore.
Mhm. Yeah, and then, but then that didn't happen. You got
Nope.
picked up.
No, it didn't happen because as soon as we in the Indonesian ocean area, we seeing oil drilling platform, right? Because they have that burning that torch, they burn the excess gas. So we start seeing it way. They're like, I don't know how far away, but
Mhm.
out in the ocean. I mean, it's dark and you see a little torch. So that's where we aim at. So
Uh-huh.
we just run straight to it. So I think it's like 2 days straight. We just run toward that. By the time we start seeing a tiny little platform, right? Uh, the engine uh, broke
Mhm.
right in the middle of the ocean, and there's no way to go anywhere. So the engine broke. I think it's cracked the block or something, because they supposed to change the oil, since they don't want to waste any time or anxiety or whatever. They just crank it and run. They thought it's only a day and a half, but I guess
Yeah.
it's a lot farther than they think. Anyway, a lot. This is all fishermen. They are not navigator.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we have one guy from the Vietnamese Navy uh, guy, but I mean, he never been he never been on a boat. He's on a ship, right? So he have all these equipment, but now he's going by star, by so basically, your life, or 98 people life, is in his hand, and he's just
Yeah.
looking at the star that he think that he remember, and point that way and run. That's how stupid and crazy we are,
Yeah, that probably won't work unless you really know the stars well, or know.
Well, star doesn't move, but I mean, uh you know so the engine broke right in the middle ocean, right? So we start getting clothing and dunking into oil and gasoline, and start burning it. So it's sending a help signal, SOS signal. So we're just doing that, you know, many hour, just doing burning, smoke, just burning,
Mhm.
without moving anywhere. So uh, we didn't see any sign of rescue or anything like that. So at night, I mean, the flame is small. So uh, um, by I think by the second day, we start seeing some fishermen fishing boat. We start seeing a school of bonita. It's like a kind of small tuna fish, right? Far away. You start seeing bird, circling, and then you start seeing fishermen chasing after that school. And
Mhm.
we start burning, yelling, and screaming, and then after many hours, everything disappear, and then we start seeing them coming back. So I don't know how we communicate, but they want it's like $2,000 or $3,000 or something like that to pull us into land, because there's only two boat fishing boat, and each boat they only have like three crew member. So we have 98 people. So we outnumber them, but we agree. So everybody pitch in, whatever we have left, whoever still have money. So we just put in the hat and give it to them, and they agree to take us to land. They tie ship by ship, right? They tie us in the middle and start going toward land, or where's land is. So they doing it for one day, and still no land. And then the second day, we the captain, he start talking about, oh, I think they are just pulling us in a circle, basically a big circle, just kind of not taking us to land. I think they waiting for a reinforcement, to come out and help them, because they want to rob us again. They think that we have money and more stuff, so they try to pirate us. So we all we don't know. We just assuming that the captain and the crew is just assuming that, because we are not going anywhere on the second day. So on the second night, we start seeing, hearing them yelling, screaming, right? And they start chopping the cable, chop, right? They chopping and screaming, and we was in the middle of the night, so we don't know, we were sleeping, and then they kick us off their boat and cut off the cable and ran away. I mean, the ocean is just mud and dark. We're like, what the heck's going on? So we waited. It's like, oh, hopefully they didn't abandon us and come back or something. I think we are dead. We are dead meat in the middle of the ocean. So we just waited for like maybe three hours, and then suddenly the light turned on, and we are right next to the freaking like big city floating in the middle of the ocean. It's a U.S. Destroyer, U.S. one of this U.S. ship, humongous. I mean, it's like a city, but we didn't know it was a U.S. ship. We didn't know. I mean, that's how silent that thing is. It been parking there. I don't know when, but
Wait. So
once they flip up, they turn on the light.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking city. You. It's like a tiny little leaf compared to we were so happy.
So maybe the pirates maybe knew that was around or something, or
I think so. Well, during the day, right? I forgot to mention, during the day, there's one spotting plane, but I mean, right in the middle of the ocean, right? How do you get the airplane out there? We didn't know there's a fleet somewhere nearby. So we saw an airplane. It's a small spotting plane. Flew by real quick, right? Flew by us real quick, and that's it. So we didn't think of it. We didn't think of anything. So I think the pirate, they know that, you know, something going on, but it's going to happen at night, because during the day, you know, probably more too visible, you know, for the big ship to do anything.
Mhm.
So, you know, at night they just, you know that they're gonna stop the pirate, and so the pirate just wait for the right moment and cut and ran away or something. But we did not see anything. I mean, that's how dark and it's just like a blackness out there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when they turn on the light, it was like a city in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
That's how big, and we are tiny little speck of dust in the middle of the ocean. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know how
Yeah.
you don't know how vast the ocean is until you are out there, when there is no visible light.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, even a couple miles out, you can still see the light from the city background and reflecting. And but when you are way out there, it's just darkness. It's
Mhm.
just darkness. It's very scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And how did your like boat people react? Were they, you said,
well,
excited?
we don't know. Who that ship belonged to, right? So we were just waiting, scary, waiting. We know that it, you know, it could be a Vietnamese ship, it could be a Russian, it could be a Chinese ship, and if any of that ship uh, pick us up, we are going back to jail. You know, we are going back to jail. So we don't know how far we are off uh, the the Vietnamese ocean border. You know, so we're just waiting for somebody to show up, and
Mhm.
then you know, after I would say many hours, you know, we start seeing like a tiny canoe.
Mhm.
Well, not a canoe, but a speedboat, you know, that came off the ship and come over, and then the captain, he's well, not the navigator. He used to be in the Navy with the American fleet, so he's start communicate, and then when the boat the uh, go back to the ship, right? He start telling people, "Oh, this is American ship." that's like a that's like a joyous moment of our life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
And especially it's American ship. I mean, it's that's a blessing. Like, oh, well, we are not going back to jail. They accept us as refugee, and you know, they're gonna start to pull our boat to the other side of the ship, and you know, they have ladder, rope ladder that's already lower, and you know, that's when they're gonna start bringing people, climbing up and bringing people up into the ship.
Mhm.
Yeah. So 98 people.
Yeah. So everybody was like alive.
Yes. No, nobody died or anything. Just you know, a lot of motion sickness and throw up and you know, very um, dramatic. And then once we on the ship, right? They're gonna sunk the little boat. You know, we looking down. That canoe is actually larger than our escape boat, and
Yeah.
you know, like, how do we fit 98 people in that tiny little thing?
Yeah.
It, and this ship, right? Their ship is gigantic, and there's only I think the crew is like 20 people. We're looking
That's
down,
crazy.
and it's like I would say it's even smaller than a leaf in a swimming pond, a swimming pool. That's how
Yeah.
I mean, it just tiny. We were just scared. So they sunk the boat, and they just shoot it some round into the bottom and let it slowly sink, and we were just so, I don't know, emotionally uh, happy. Uh, I mean, it just hard to describe. Is and scare, like how the heck did we survive 7 days, 7 nights on that tiny little boat with 98 people,
Yeah.
and you know, so in a few days, I would say people gonna start to kill each other. It's just this because I mean we almost out of water. You know we would, I think, at the like end of our life. So
Yeah.
very, yeah. So that's as soon as that boat sank, the ocean would just turn angry. I mean, the wave was just bashing, and it was like they take everybody inside, go shower, line up, shower, get some fresh clothing, set up people, station so they can take a rest. uh, there's some very very light food because we've been on the ocean for 7 days, 7 nights, so the stomach is quenching. So they just give us like soup, chicken noodle soup that to kind of give you something, and then go to sleep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, that's the escape story.
Yeah. And so then after that, you said, I think they were still on duty, so they had to kind of send you to a camp.
Yes, yes. The ship, they just left Singapore. We want to go to Singapore. We
Yeah.
try not to go to Thailand
Mm-hmm.
because we escape. If we go to Thailand only take like 2 day 2 night, and we should be there already. But this navigator guy, he want to go to Singapore or Malaysia or somewhere over there because he say it's a lot better over there. So he's take the long route. It take like 7 day, 8 day to get there from Vietnam by boat. So he's a very accurate guy. And he's navigator. I mean, from 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 later on, the captain, he was saying that this guy is actually right on the money. Without even equipment, navigation equipment. So he's really 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 precise. So but the ship is on the routine route. So it's already finished stopping at Singapore. So now it's on its way back to Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
So they they gonna they're gonna take us uh, midway there, and then put us on another uh, refugee boat, which is that's where they're processing us. You know, fill out paperwork, and there is actually a immigration office on that ship. And so 2 day that we enjoy this destroyer.
Yeah.
It was nice. I mean, it's just us. It's
Yeah.
just us on that ship. So it's really really nice. They treat us. This is their first pickup. So we was like, the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So even though we can't speak English, or they all really, really, really extremely nice people. Very helpful and nice. And the next day, man, they have this helicopter patch, right? You can land a helicopter on that thing.
Hmm.
They have all kinds of food laid out.
Yeah.
It's like, so much food. I mean, we haven't seen that much food for, I don't know, all my life. I
Yeah.
mean, even
Uh,
even buffet here is not even compared to that. That's how much food they set up. So much food. And they all uh, the crew coming out and welcome people, shaking hand and talking, giving blanket, giving shirt, souvenir. We got hat, we got uh, whatever they donate, they put it in the middle. You can pick whatever you want. You can, whatever fit, but most of them is oversized because they big big people. So we ate so much stuff, so much food, uh, and it's good. It's really, really, really open our eyes. This is probably the first time I even meet a American guy.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it?
My dad, he's met, he worked with them, but he's never brought an American guy down to our neighborhood. So,
Mhm.
but
Were
that
there
was good. Yeah.
were there any like women soldiers on board too? Is it all just men?
No, all men. Yeah, all men.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so then after you spent 2 days there, you got
Transfer. Yeah,
transferred.
transfer to another ship, and that's a that's a that's a different story. Yeah, it's like a refugee camp on boat on ship. There's thousands of refugee boat people,
Wow.
thousands.
Is it like all
Yeah.
Vietnamese people or?
Yep. Well, no, not necessary. There's Vietnamese, there's Thailand, there's a Cambodian on there. So different this ethnicity, ethnic different people too.
Hmm.
Not, but mostly from that area. Even Thailand, there's a certain region they allow you. I mean, not allow. They escape from Thailand too. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. They just mix in with the Vietnamese people to escape.
Yep.
Because they want to find better opportunity, and so they just mix in and try to escape. And then there's Cambodian, there's Laotian. I mean, those countries, they're not part of the Vietnam War, but they just mix in and try to escape. So there's when you're on a American ship, basically you guarantee to go to America unless you claim that you want to go somewhere else.
Hmm.
So yeah, when they pick you up, that means they are accepting you. That's how American refugee policy is. Or any other country that pick you up in the middle of the ocean, basically they already uh, uh, give you the right to come to that country.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
So that ship, they have, hospital. They have. It's almost like that one big ship that for COVID-19. That's how big it's like multi. You know, the one that parked in New York for a while.
No.
It's a hospital ship, but then you know it's big. You know, it's like
It has a lot
really
of
really big. A
amenities.
lot of
and
rooms, a
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
bedding. Got hospital. It's got kitchen. You know, it's got big. You know, it's for people. So you know, there's thousands of people on there when we arrive. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they have INS office on there, so they basically give us some kind of document number, and then we go into that office when our turn come, and they basically interview, give us fill out all this form and everything. They done everything on board, so really nice and efficient. Yeah, really good.
Mhm.
Shot, they give us, I don't know what kind of shot, but tetanus shot. They give us hepatitis shot, malaria, all
Yeah.
the necessary vaccination.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right on board, everything. One shot, you just station after station.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, what did you have like an idea of what America was, or like what did
nope,
America mean to you?
nope,
You just
nope.
knew it was like the place to go?
We have no clue at that point. It's just like, okay, we are out of Vietnam. That's it. That's all we know. There's people talking because all these American worker, right? Uh, they try to talk to us through another interpreter. The interpreter is not very what do you call that? They don't have time. One thing is they don't have time, right? There's thousands of people to process, so they can't just sit there and talk. Just whatever the American want to ask, then they would write it down or translate, and then the translator, their English is not very good. I mean, they probably kind of basic English, so they can basically translate just from the form. It's like what name, this address, and your relationship, why you escape, basic stuff. So there is no conversation. So nobody know, like what's America, like where are we going. So basically we just, okay, everything is safe now. We all good. There's really good food. There's safe here. So we just wait for them to finish, I guess, loading up the boat, and then process the paperwork and send it into the refugee camp. That's where they're gonna further process us, and that's where you will learn what country. I mean, right now, looking back, that I know that American ship pick you up. That means you guarantee, to go to America. But back then, nobody tell us anything.
Yeah. So then, after you got processed, you just all of you guys.
Yes, on you mean on the ship?
Yeah. Then you all went to the refugee camp.
Yes, we later learned. I think we were on that ship for 3 days. I think later we learned that we actually go into Thailand. and everybody kind of sad. You know, first, you know, we hear bad thing about Thailand, you know, and then you know, there's hold your thought, Andrew. I mean, Philip. Let me go restroom real quick. I'll be back.
Okay. So then you get to the Thai refugee camp.
Yes, so we got to you know, the Thailand beach, right? Really nice, gorgeous beach. It's like, oh my God, look at all these hotels. That's where we're gonna stay. You know, because you know, the ship dock right next to this resort, you know, where all the city, the big city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we look at, oh my God, it's like so nice. It's like heaven. So, you know, look really good. Everybody's so excited. So they loaded us up, you know, into bus and take us far away from the city,
Mm-hmm.
you know, into the like almost like the jungle.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, we just escaped from the jungle, and why we are back here again?
Yeah.
Everybody's so sad. So the refugee camp is in the middle of a jungle.
Yeah.
You know, is you know, it just set up very crudely built. You know, it's just like a 3-wall, you know, and then 4 buildings facing in. So, and then in the middle is, you know, it's just like an open dirt field, right? So very crude. No door, nothing. Oh, you know, they assign a family or maybe like 50 people into one. And basically, it's a flat cement, right? With 3 walls, and then you sleep, you live inside that cement slab on that slab. You know, but you know, hey, well, at least we are not in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, we stayed there, you know, and got processed after 3 months. So total the time we left Vietnam to United States is 5 months. It's like record.
So it took you 3 months. You were only at the camp for 3 months.
We at the camp for the first camp we was at is 41 day, and you know, in Thailand 41 day. Total in Thailand is 41 day, 2 camp, you know, but 41 day total. And then we got transferred to another camp in they call education and adaptation camp in Malaysia, Galang, Malaysia. So we boarding airplane, first time in my life, boarding airplane from Thailand to Singapore. So we went almost to Singapore, back to Thailand, and then back to Singapore.
Yeah.
So when we saw, you know, Singapore airline and Singapore airport, right? Oh man, we are back to Singapore, because everybody likes Singapore, because Singapore refugee camp, they allow you to go outside, and people go outside, work at restaurant, work at different place. They're making good money. So we're like, oh yeah, we are back to Singapore again. Really nice. So we got to Singapore. They bus us and take it down to the port, right, to the seaport.
Mm-hmm.
Put us on a boat, the ship, take us to the island, Galang Island.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle of jungle again.
Yeah, from one jungle to the next.
Yep. So go back to the city and then go to the jungle.
Yeah.
So, but the camp is semi nice. It's like a military barrack. So on the bottom you have kitchen and you have a little dining area, and then your sleeping quarter on top. So me and Bác Hoàng stayed downstairs. Bác Trang and Bác Hiền took upstairs. So.
Oh wait, so you were with Bác Trang and Bác Huyen also?
Yeah, 4 of us. This is the second time we escaped.
Okay.
The first time is just me and my uncle. We did not get out.
Yeah. So then, okay. So then the rest of your family, did they
In
ever?
Vietnam.
They never got the chance, or I guess
No.
they got it later. Some of them.
My brother, right, my older brother, he escaped with supposedly I went with him a long time ago, 1979, but for some reason at the end, just before they decide to go, I got sent home. My mom and dad picked me up, so I went back home. Maybe they ran out of space or money or whatever, so I'm not sure.
Mm.
So my brother escaped, and they got picked up by a Norwegian tanker. Yeah, one of them. So they took him to Malaysia. Is that Malaysia? Indonesia refugee camp. So that's his escape. And then I'm the second. Me and Bác Trang is the second in the family to escape. And then my brother, my younger brother, younger sister, and Bác Han, the 3 that escaped last. I think they end up in Thailand, and then got sponsored by my brother in Norway. So they went to Norway.
Yeah. And throughout this like whole transition, did you like miss home at all, or think about your parents a lot, or are you just kind of going with things, or how did you?
Just going with things mostly, because I guess too independent. So I mean, miss, yes, but like survival or need to be with them, no.
Hmm.
In the camp, I'm with Bác Trang, and there's adult everywhere, so, and then friend. I mean, we all, even from different city, different area, but they out there helping the newcomer. Really, really, really nice. The U.S. volunteer. There's a lot of volunteer. Helping people set up, helping people with clothing, giving them clothing, giving them blanket. It's just a lot of good people. Just great people helping the refugee. And the Linda, right? Linda Christmas. She's the sponsor of the white
I thought she
lady.
was the social
Yeah,
worker.
you met her with your mom. She came down to California a few times, and we met with her. We still have picture of her with you.
Wait, can you
when
send those
when
to
you
me?
were like 1 or 2 years old.
Wait, you still have those?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, she's one of the volunteer at Thailand, and I remember her vividly. So she's standing there passing out, just donation clothing and stuff like that, and she was, just helping out with the refugee. And later on, I asked her, and she's like, "Yeah, during that year, it's like I remember you," and she became my foster social worker. Yeah.
So wait, yeah. So that's when you first met her, was at the refugee camp.
Well, I mean, not met her. I just saw her because she's really tall and stand out in a crowd, and passing out stuff, and I mean, we don't know what her role or what's she doing there and stuff like that. But we just, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people. I mean, she have so many people that knew her and invited her to visiting and all that stuff. She's like a very very well known person. It's like a angel. Very very nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just remember her face later on when I came to the United States, and that's when she finished and finished her tour, and then she became a social worker. Yeah.
Was she doing like a volunteer program or something, or just?
I don't know. I think part of the she's belonged to Bethany Christian Service. So I think part of the service, the journey, is you need to volunteer maybe a year or so or something on one of the you know on your mission or something.
Mhm.
But she was in Thailand during that time that I was there. So
Yeah. So then, okay. Is she?
she still volunteer later on in life, like Katrina and Haiti, and she still go, just because she's want to, so.
Yeah. When was the last time you talked to her?
Last time she was down here, I think it's at our old house just before we moved, and then she went to somewhere, and then I forgot. I was trying to look her up on Facebook, but she changed her last name. I'm pretty sure she's pretty old now, but
What was her name?
Linda Scripsama.
Okay.
I'll send you her picture or name.
Yeah, it would be interesting to, I don't know, chat to her.
Yeah. I think you and her can talk many days. She's a really really nice person.
Okay, so then how did you? So then, was that the last refugee camp that you were at before you came to the U.S.?
Yes. Last refugee camp is Galang. They call Galang 2 in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm. So then,
No,
Yeah.
Indonesia, Galang, Indonesia.
mhm. So then, that's when the some random family in the U.S. Kind of adopted
Well,
you, or how did that happen?
it's a tricky situation, right? When we was in Thailand, right? They basically tell us that in order for us to go quickly, it's easier to split us up since Bắc Hoàng and I are minor, which is under 18, and Bắc Hiền and Bắc Trang as a family. So in order to find sponsor, it's much easier to put me and Bắc Hoàng as a minor. So that way, family can adopt either one or two of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bắc Hiền and Bắc Trang, since we have a distant uncle, but he's he escaped a couple years earlier, and he's in the United States. So they will contact him to have him sponsor Bắc Trang and Bắc Hiền. So it's hard because they have small children. They cannot house more minor like me and Bắc Hoàng. So they split us up, but we still travel together all the way until we reach the United States. In case sometime we will go separate state, but they try to locate family within the city, within the state, because we don't have any. I don't have any relative that is live nearby. So they try to locate two family to adopt to sponsor us.
Mm-hmm.
So paperwork processing, yes, we separated in Thailand, but we still travel all the way to the United States. So when we get to the United States, we did not know how that sponsor process work. So we assuming that we are going to end up in one household, right? So at my uncle place, I did not know anything about the sponsor guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we traveled to San Francisco, and then San Francisco to Chicago to Grand Rapids, Michigan. So when we get to the airport, and nope, you go that way, back here, I can't go that way. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like just go for now, and then we'll meet up tomorrow to talk about it, because it was late, really late at night. So we get to the airport. It's like, what happened? You just split up.
Yeah.
So me and Bắc Hoàng go back with the sponsor a guy, and then Bắc Hiền and Bắc Trang go with my uncle. So it's same city, but it's just kind of weird,
Yeah. So then that's when you finally that's the family that you just stayed with until you.
Yep, that's September 21, 1981. That's when we arrived to the United States. September 21, 1981.
So it was just you and Bắc Hoàng.
No, me, Bắc Hoàng, and Bắc Hiền, and Bắc Trang.
Yeah, but they were with a different family, right?
No, we split up at the airport, at the Grand Rapids airport. Yeah.
But then you guys all ended up with the same sponsor?
No, different sponsor. Bắc Hiền and Bắc Trang sponsored by my not what do you call that? It's just called uncle, my
Okay, right.
uncle.
Yeah.
And then me and Bak Hwang got a separate sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
they process the paperwork simultaneously, so we end up both going, to the same city basically, and then split up from there.
Yeah. So then, yeah. So that's the journey.
Well, that is a journey. Yes, it
Uh,
is a journey. Yeah.
yeah. So then what was like the first thing that you sort of weren't expecting, or the thing you noticed about America that you were just like, whoa, or Michigan maybe?
It's like, whoa, what a horrible place.
Really?
Well, it's beginning of fall, and you're looking outside. I mean, in Vietnam, it's a tropical region, right? So every tree is all green, and the weather. I mean, the weather. I mean, I can expect that it's gonna be cold because we learned about it in the refugee camp. They show uh, uh, map and different. We basically learn a little bit about adapting to new life, and they show majority of the screen or the location is in California or Texas, so it's all nice, green and warm, right?
Yeah.
And here we are, going to Michigan in the fall, all the tree, no leaf. We were just like, what the heck? What kind of city is this? No leaf, you know.
Yeah.
And we were shocked. I mean, it was looking like a horror movie, because it's at night. It's cold.
Yeah.
Nobody outside. He's driving us home. You know, it's so cold. It's we're looking outside the window. All the tree is just bare branch. It's just dark and I don't know, very very ghostly.
Mhm.
So that's a shock.
Yeah, I bet.
And there's no people on the street.
Yeah, it's like a ghost town.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. And then every house, it's just dark, no light.
Hmm.
So
That was your first impression.
yep. I mean, it's
Welcome to America.
yeah, and he's not a friendly guy. He's an older guy, but he's not a friendly talkative because he doing this later on. I found out, but he doing it for money. So he's just trying to get you home and go to sleep, and because he have to go to work next day. So he just pick you up here. This is where you sleep, and try to go to sleep because I have to go to work tomorrow. That's it. And he disappeared.
Yeah. That was like, was that your whole kind of relationship with him? Just
Pretty
he
much.
was never okay.
Yeah. He's like that with his own children too. He's escaped from Vietnam in 1975 without his wife, and with five children. Five children, and him by himself. Working as a janitor at one of the hospital, and raising his children, go college and everything. So very very uh, isolated guy, very isolation, very frugal. on his money.
Yeah. So you and Bakun lived with all 5 of his kids too?
No, Bác Hoàng. Bác Hoàng.
Sorry, Bak Huang. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. He's, later on I found out that he's a regular sponsor kid to bring over, because each month each of us bringing in almost the same amount as him go to work. So the benefit is quite large for for anybody that willing to sponsor minor. So that's what he doing, basically sponsor minor a few years, when just like Bắc Hoàng, right? He's already 17 or 16 or 17 when he got sponsored. Maybe another 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, and he's done, and he's out. And then for me, that's like 8 years of money income going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they pay, because through Christian Bethany service, they pay a lot more than regular state funded program, because this is through a Christian service that they pay for room and board, food, clothing, so quite a lucrative job. So
Yeah.
that's what this guy is doing. He's basically getting money, really good money for sponsor, and housing us, and so, but I mean,
So then did he send you to school right away, and you just kind of started going through the systems?
school just started.
So you just had to, did you like start right away?
Yep.
Was that
I mean, they his kid, they all go in Catholic school, and my sponsor, I think the next day or day after, came by, Miss Linda came by, and drive me to school, and sign me up, middle school, 7th grade. Bắc Hoàng going to high school, 9th grade. So I'm in 7th grade, and Bắc Hoàng 9th grade. Sign us up. Stop by Meyer, supermarket, and buy us some stuff. Supposedly that's the sponsor guy job, but he's have to work, so he didn't do it. So she came by and did all that, signed me up to school, put me into ESL, English as second language program. There, there's already maybe 20 kid, 20 ESL kid. So so there's some Vietnamese there, and two teacher. One is one's lady, and one guy teacher, Vietnamese, and just start school right away, and then meet up with a couple of guys that live nearby, and they show me the bus route, and get my bus card, get my different things, and start school right away. So
yeah.
Yep.
Was it hard to just adjust so quickly to all these things?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in Vietnam, I was in school, but just a different technique of teaching, different language. You know, even the ESL teacher, they mix in half and half, so it's really hard to grasp on. And you know, the language is seem like it's going reverse, you know. So you know, start from I mean, I recognize ABC, but you know, I mean, it sound different. So yeah, I mean, I start learning from ABC, ABC, you know. So
yeah,
that's a shocker, yeah. And they don't stop for you. The school year just move on.
yeah,
And they expect you to get at least a C. You know, math, you know, I mean, that's when you start into word problem, then I have word, you know, problem because of language barrier. But you know, it's just all in all, it's just totally shocked. Yes.
hmm
And then you know, the school is quite far away. It's like I'd say an hour bus drive.
yeah.
Yeah, quite far away, because you know that's the only school that have ESL program.
Oh. Was that like a kind of poor area or?
No, no, no. I mean, that school is actually one of the best, the better one. Westwood Middle School is it's like a better area. It's just that they select that school to be you know, the ESL program.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So then did you like ever reach a point where you're just kind of like, okay, this is my life now and I'm gonna try to, you know, like what were you thinking about when you were finally kind of like settled, or when did you feel settled?
Never.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it's
Did you like constantly think about, you know, like your parents and where your family is and that sort of thing, or what?
time to time, but not all the time. I mean, you know, I'm a realistic person, I guess. You know, you have to worry about your immediate task, your immediate family now in front of you. Take care of all what in front of you first,
Mhm.
and then you know. Um, I, I don't know, just I don't know. I just have to deal with stuff in front of me first, you know.
Yeah. So you were just kind of keeping yourself busy then with like, you know, just whatever was in front of your life.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then was Linda like continuing to just kind of help you throughout the years, or did she just kind of come and go at different times?
no, she's my case worker or social worker, and friend for you know, until she finished with after I'm 18. After I'm 18, that's I finished first year of college. I actually still have money from social service uh, until my first year of college. So um, um, so she's always around. You know, I mean, even when I'm in college, once a month or twice I mean, uh, other month, every other month, I'm call her and you know, we go out and eat bun we go. She liked Vietnamese food. You know, she loved Vietnamese food. So we go out, and then she lived not too far from Bắc Hiền house, and you know, she came and visit. She came and visit me before I leave for California, and you know, just we keep in touch until the last. I think the last time she came down to our house in Orange, and then she went on some volunteer trip somewhere, and then that's when we kind of disconnected or lost contact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.